Hey, what's going on, guys? Chef Reviews back with a new review, baby. Putting out a new dish. So, um, this is Chef Reviews, number 3. Yeah, actually the third one. I know this time. So, uh, Bo Burnham's Inside, his new Netflix special. I personally am a huge fan of Bo Burnham. I love how he can transform his own comedy into just these, just mess of songs that aren't really a mess. They're actually really good songs, and he's just a really good comedian. His writing is questionable at times, but when he's a comedian, so you got to take those kinds of risks. Um, so let's talk about Bo Burnham's Inside. So not only did he do this all by himself, but he also did it over the span of a year, which I think is really cool. I think it's really interesting. But if you go and watch it, the amount of work that he puts into it, the amount of effort that he puts, how much time he spent, how much blood, sweat, and tears he worked on this, all by himself. Even if you don't like the comedy show itself, you still have to give it respect, right? Like, there is so much that he does in this, hour and a half to almost 2 hour long special that it just, wow, right? So he has a list of songs that he's done in the special, and right off the bat, you're hit with the first song, Content. Content is this really good, techno, almost like everyday pop song that you would hear, but it's nice when he sings about how he's back. We're finally 5 years of not seeing or hearing anything from him to bam, a whole new special. That is all right. The first song, after you're hearing that, as soon as the show starts, you're just so ready to just sit down and watch. You already know, this dude's singing about how daddy's made you his favorite, open wide. You already know this is gonna be good. The next song that he plays is Comedy, and that one is really, really good. It's probably one of my more favorited songs throughout the special. This one, he takes on the whole right now with how much bad shit is going on, with how much everybody's at war with each other right now, right? Nobody's seeming to just sit down and just get along, and he comes in and he's writing a comedy special. Who, you're really joking at a time like this? One of my favorite lyrics, I think it's this song, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure it's this song, where he sings about how if you wake up in a house that's full of smoke, don't panic, call me up and I'll tell you a joke, right? Heal the world with comedy. And that's what we need right now. We need this thing to distract us from, I don't want to go outside, right? So it's really an interesting song, but it's also really good. Moving on to the next one, FaceTiming with my mom tonight. That one was really funny. And that one, he takes on, I haven't spoken to my mother in a while. So I can kind of relate to that, it being okay, let's FaceTime my mom tonight, some of the jokes that he makes in that song are really funny too, how he's arguing with her that her thumb is covering the camera, or the first opening lyrics is her hair is wet, and he's like, oh, did you just get out of that shower? And she's like, yeah, how did you know? Yeah, that sounds like a mom thing. that one was pretty good. I like some of his sketches in the movie as well. Um, but throughout this entire special, I feel like he does capture what it's like right now to be inside, right? Like sitting at home trying to find something to do, telling yourself jokes just to get the time to go by, right? Everybody's stuck at home. It's inside. I think he captures that, that feeling really well in this special. And so as soon as he finishes that song, he moves on to the next one, How the World Works. And it's really funny because he brings on this little sock puppet dude character that starts to kind of tell him, well, sure, like, we can look at all the bright sides of the world and how, like, we built this on fame and pride, but we also built the world on blood, right? Like, it's not this grand thing that we think is awesome. Like, yeah, the world is awesome. Like, sure, it can be, and it is for the first 10 minutes, but you also have to look at the other polar side where we founded so much on blood, sweat, and tears just to get what we have now, like, that was really good. He moves on to the next song, White Woman's Instagram, which was really funny. I really like that song. He tries to explain, am I in heaven or am I just looking at a white girl's Instagram? Right? Like, they just post the same. I feel like a lot of not just white women in general, but just a lot of people on Instagram kind of just post the same thing, and after a while, everything just starts to become so bright and fun and giddy, but you never really know what's going on the other side of the phone. So it's just interesting. His next song, he goes into Unpaid Intern, which I really liked, but one thing that he does with a lot of these songs are he cuts them off too early. Unpaid Intern was really short, but it was also really funny because it does capture what, it also captures what, like, how bad the economic system and, like, jobs and shit are right now. Like, people are working for nothing, like, doing 30 to 40 hour shifts and only coming home with a third of what they should be making, right? Like, sitting in meetings, not making a sound. Like, he's an unpaid intern. And then he ends the song with the whole, like, what, which I love. I love that. But right after that, he skips to this skit where he just keeps explaining everything while he's, like, reacting to the song, but then it just keeps looping. So there's just this little corner up here, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just him reacting over and over and over and over again. And everything just starts to layer on top of each other, and I thought that was just really funny. But he does 2 songs here about Jeff Bezos, which are just comical. I can't help but laugh. What he was trying to do with these songs, I'm not too sure. But you could also look at it as his comedy side of, sure, he's singing about all these, like, quote-unquote, like, these deep songs with these deep meanings, but then he throws in a song about Jeff Bezos and how, like, Jeff Bezos is just this god among men, right? Like, it's nice. The simplicity is nice sometimes, right? Like, you don't need to make a mountain out of a molehill to get, like, this good thing, So he does Jeff Bezos Part 1, which was pretty good. I personally like Jeff Bezos Part 2. But we'll get into that later. So he, as soon as he finishes the Jeff Bezos song, the first one, he goes into sexting, and that one is really interesting because I feel like that's a lot of what people are doing nowadays, especially when they're stuck at home or inside. You just, nobody really seems to want to go out and do stuff anymore, you know? He kind of captures what it's like getting these kinds of feelings, especially when you're stuck at home. What do? Okay, we'll do the next best thing, and we're gonna sext. And that one's really funny. He sings about how he takes a picture of his junk, right, and the flash makes it look bad, so he sends a picture of his face, but then she's like, not fair, I sent you my tits. So he's like, okay, and then he sends the picture of his junk, and then his phone dies, and then he's on his own again. One hand on his phone, one hand on his dick. Those are his words, not mine. But it's just funny. But the song that he moves on to after that, Look Who's Inside Again, was, I like this, how he kind of battles the, he kind of makes this conflict where it's sure all these songs are great and funny, but also there's the downsides of the being stuck inside, having this much time to be stuck inside your head. So he kind of sings about how, like, maybe it is better to stay inside, but he wants to go out. He wants to make these efforts. But then, halfway through, towards the end of the song, he kind of combats it with the lyrics, well, look who's inside again, went out to look for a reason to hide again. Well, buddy, you found it. Now come out with your hands up, we've got you surrounded. Right, like, sure, he may have gone outside, but did he go out there just so he can come back in? Or is there a part of him that's fighting and wants to stay outside? Which kind of gets more light shined onto it towards the end, but we'll get there when we get there. Problematic was the next song after that. That was really good. It kind of has this, like, Kevin Bacon Footloose kind of, like, motivational workout song, but he also sings about how he's now developing these self-destructive habits that, sure, he wants to, you know, like, make an effort to change, but he's also problematic, and I think a lot of people are nowadays, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, we all got our shit, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of don't have much else to say about that song, but after that he moved on to the song 30, which I can almost relate to, in a sense of it's been months since he's been working on this special, right? He's got this many songs down, but then he starts to talk about how if he finishes the special, he'll have nothing else to work on, and he'll be bored at home again. But at the same time, he's also struggling with, he wanted to get this special done before he was 30, right? Before he had his birthday, because his 20s are ending and he's now becoming this quote-unquote adult, like he's no longer young. Which I think really captures now, is also in the sense of it sucks. not being able to just go out and celebrate your birthday, having to sit at home on the day of and watch the clock go from 11:58 to 11:59 to midnight. Yay! Pull little poppers and yay! But nothing really seems to change. But he also, what I was talking about earlier was if he finishes the special before he turns 30, then he had nothing to work on. But if he doesn't, then he's gonna feel like he's gonna constantly be working on it forever, and it's just never gonna get done. So it's just an interesting song. Another one, the song after 30, right? Like after the song Problematic, this special starts to take this kind of downhill almost sense to it, where it does show that not all of the good things about being locked inside, right? Like, sure, you get to sit home all day and make jokes and write songs and make joke songs, right? But at the same time, it's starting to get to him. So the next song is Don't Wanna Know. And he also, in that song, he asks, like, he's aware that this is just on the TV for us, right? We're just sitting in the background watching it. But are we watching it to watch him, or are we just putting something on to background noise? Just to, like, sit there and put on and sit there and talk with your friends, right? Like, I really like it because he asks, like, am I on just a joke in the background right now? But at the same time, I don't want to know. And I kind of feel the same way about certain things. Maybe not to the degree that he does, but in the sense of there's a lot of questions that I ask sometimes, but I'd be better off not knowing the answer. Like, you know what? I don't want to know. I'm good. And after that, it really starts to take a downhill. And the next song is Shit, which is really funny, but it's also kind of sad about how he's been working on this special for months now. Months. And it's just seeming like it's just never going to get done. And he'll just sit around all day and feel like shit. And wake up at 11:30 feeling like a bag of shit. All his clothes are dirty, so he's smelling like a bag of shit. But at the same time, that's kind of how you feel being stuck inside so long. You have so much time to think, I don't want to think anymore. So the next song is very, very brief, but he talks about how his mental state is reaching an ATL or an all-time low, which he then makes a joke of, not Atlanta, which I just think that was funny. Yeah, my mental state's hitting Atlanta. I don't know, that's just funny to me. But this isn't something to laugh about either, so I'm trying not to, I'm trying to take these songs as serious as he wants them to be taken. The next song is Welcome to the Internet, which I hear a lot of people actually really enjoy that song. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I like it, and I like the sound of it, but I feel like there's better songs in this special. There's better skits in this special that he does. There's just better ones. And sure, it's good, but he talks also about, in this song, Welcome to the Internet, we have everything from how to make a bomb to, like, how to, like, little DIY snowmen for Christmas, right? Like, any kind of porn that you want to watch versus how to kill your mom, right? Like, and those are all things he brings up. Not, don't worry. I'm not trying to learn how to make a bomb. But the song right after that funny feeling, is a really interesting one, and I think probably one of my personal favorites. But it just, the irony in the entire song, from the first lyrics that he starts to sing from the first verse, right? Like, stunning 8K resolution meditation app, right? Like, you're supposed to sit there and meditate, but they got this grand quality. Here, don't look at that. Look at this. Look at how good it looks, right? Like, getting a book on how to get better that's hand-delivered by a drone, right? Like, the irony in that of, well, it's hand-delivered by a drone, but it's also a book about getting better while we're letting these little pieces of technology just run amok. And now everything is either online or somewhere on the internet, right? Like, so as soon as he finishes that song, he brings up the whole, that weird feeling that you get, you know, the quiet comprehending of the ending of it all, right? Like, that really just funny feeling that you get, that you almost know, well, everything is going to be okay. I'm a little panicked, but it's all good. You know, you know you're getting close to the end, but it's okay. It's okay. His next song, All Eyes on Me, is good, and I really like it because he goes to make this effort to reach out to the fans that are watching at home and say, you know, thank you. He's been locked away for 5 years trying to redo his comedy stuff, but at the same time, you know, without his fans, he kind of wouldn't be much. You know what I'm saying? So he, that song kind of takes on the whole, like, put all eyes on me, but I'm thanking you. Like, this is all because of you. I really like that song, but if you watch it, you can tell he's not okay, which I'm genuinely concerned for him, but I also know at the same time, well, at least I hope at the same time, that he'll be okay. So the final two songs, Goodbye and Any Day Now. Goodbye was really good. Really good. I love that song. I love the Goodbye. How he brings up, like, he doesn't want the special to end, but he knows that it has to. Everything has to come to an end. And how he sings about, like, sure, he's doing all of this for us. Everybody asks, where's Bo? But nobody asks, how's Bo? You know? Like, one of the first few lines in the song is, if not the first line in the song, is, pick a street and I'll meet you there on the other side. Right? Like, being so close to one another, but also at the same time being divided by this almost river or street that you just can't really seem to cross. But you're on your own sides, and it's okay if you don't cross. Towards the end of that song, he reinstates the lines from Look Who's Inside Again. But it's almost distorted, as if things are going corrupt and he's not wanting to stay inside anymore. He wants to go outside now, you know, like, so as soon as that song ends, the skit that he does with it, he does go outside, and he opens his door, and he goes outside, and when he goes to go back in, the door is locked, and he's stuck out there, and he panics, and he freaks out, and he breaks down. But the camera pans, and it's him watching, and he doesn't look too happy, but right at the very end, pops a smile, and he knows it's funny. The final song that he performs, Any Day Now, isn't much of a song. It's just It'll Stop Any Day Now, which is just the credits song, which is kind of funny because the song ends abruptly right before the credits ends, so it's kind of like it will stop any day now, you know. I personally think that he truly captures everything what this pandemic has done to us and what it's like to be inside. I will gladly give this special a strong 8, if not a light 9. I personally loved it, and I think a lot of people should go watch it right now. Even if you're not a fan of Bo Burnham, like I said, it's just he puts so much time and effort, and there's just so much that he does that by the time it ends, you just think he had to have had help. There is no way that he could have done this, but if you rewatch it, you kind of start to see, holy crap, he did do all this by himself. That's impressive. That's really impressive. I would love to see another one if he could. I love this special, and I give it a strong 8 to a light 9 on the chef scale out of 10. I love this special. I hope you guys go check it out. It's Bo Burnham's Inside on Netflix. I really hope you guys go check it out. Give that dude as much support as you can. He definitely deserves it, especially after making this masterpiece, right? Like, he deserves a lot of respect right now. Thank you guys for tuning in to the new Chef Reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys go check out the new special, and if you have already, please let me know what you thought of it. I am interested in hearing what you guys think. Please stay tuned for the next one. There will be a new Chef Reviews. It'll be an album review, so it won't be kind of too long, and not as long as this one. This one's probably one of the longest Chef Reviews I've done in a while, if not the longest one. So just be on the lookout for that. Again, thank you guys for staying tuned to this. I'll have a Chef Reviews page up soon. We can get that going. It'll all be good. I think that sums it up. Strong 8 to a light 9 on the chef scale. Bo Burnham's Inside. Thank you again for staying tuned this long and watching the video. I really appreciate the support and love that you guys have for this channel. I really hope that we can make something out of it. I hope to see you guys soon, and have a good one.